Class 9. Class 9, your chapter is going on second chapter, that is matter around us pure. So in this chapter, already I have sent you videos regarding various topics, that is solution, mixture, suspension, everything. Now the last topic is left, that is how to separate the components of a mixture. I am not going to explain all the processes because some of the processes are very easy process you have learned in the previous class, and if you go through the book it is easy for you to understand. I will only explain some of the method to separate the component of a mixture and the principle used for that. Okay. So first topic is my centrifugation. About this method I told you earlier also, in certain explanation I have used this word, that is milk is separated from the cream by using this method. Actually what is centrifugation, what happens in it, that you have to know. It is a very simple process. This process is based on the principle that different particles have different densities. This method is generally used to separate lighter suspended particles present in a liquid. In a liquid, that means from a suspension, you know that true solution, suspension and colloid. These are the three types of liquid mixture. So from a suspension, lighter suspended particles, how to separate them from the liquid, for that centrifugation method is used. In case of heavier particles, they can be settled down very easily, that is by sedimentation and decantation we can separate. But lighter suspended particles, they remain suspended in the solution, not solution, in the liquid. So it becomes very difficult to settle them. They do not want to settle down. So for that centrifugation method is used. It is nothing but centrifuge is a machine in which the liquid is taken and then the machine is rotated with a high speed. Due to rotation with a high speed, the lighter particles and the heavier particles, they separate. How they are going to separate? The denser particles, they will settle down at the bottom and the lighter particles will remain at the top. Now after this, you can separate the lighter particles in another container. You might have seen that how your mother is making ghee at home. So you might have seen that the cream taken, it is rotated at a high speed to separate the cream from the ghee, to make the ghee. So that is only centrifugation, and I have written also. Centrifugation, this is a method of separating suspended particles from a liquid. This is the definition. That is, it is a method of separating suspended particles from a liquid. It is based on the principle of different densities of the particles. Particles with higher density settle at the bottom and the lighter particles remain at the top. So other than this separation of cream from the milk, I can take some other mixture also for centrifugation. So this is the main basic thing for centrifugation that already I have explained. Now next is how to separate miscible liquids. Miscible liquids means two liquids which dissolve with each other in such a way that you cannot find any separate layer or something. Sorry, here this one I have written wrong. Separation of miscible liquid only is having two methods, number 1 and number 2. Separation of miscible liquid, simple distillation and fractional distillation. And separating funnel, this is used for separating immiscible liquid. Separating immiscible liquid. Now immiscible liquid means the two liquids which are not going to mix with each other properly. In that case we are going to use separating funnel. Separating funnel is the instrument in which the container is having a broad mouth and at the end there is a knob. If you open the knob, then the liquid can be collected in another container. immiscible liquids are collected in the separating funnel. As they are immiscible, so they will form two separate layers. The lighter liquid will be at the top and the heavier liquid will be at the bottom. Now if you open the knob, then carefully you have to find out that the liquid which is at the bottom, it can be collected into another container. And when another liquid comes near the knob, that time you have to close the knob so that both the liquids are not going to be mixed. Although this is not a very perfect method for separation of immiscible liquid, but it can be used for separating immiscible liquids. At the layer where the two liquids are mixed together, where the formation of layer is there is a chance of mixing small amount of liquid with another. So to avoid that, separation of immiscible liquid can also be done by using distillation method. So I will discuss about distillation method now. Separation of miscible liquid can be done using two methods. One is simple distillation and next one is fractional distillation. Now what is distillation and what is the principle based on this? Distillation in junior classes you have learned. Distillation means a method in which evaporation is followed by condensation. Combination of evaporation and condensation is used here. So you can write it down, you can note it down. Distillation is a method in which we follow evaporation followed by condensation, or it is a method in which evaporation is done followed by condensation. Now what is the principle based on this? It is based on the principle that every pure substance have particular boiling and melting point. The principle used here is that all pure substances have different boiling points. Based on this, the distillation method is used. All different materials or pure substances have different boiling point. So suppose I am taking a mixture of two liquids which are having different boiling point. Example, acetone and water. The boiling point of acetone is 56 degrees Celsius and water is 100 degrees Celsius. The mixture is taken in a container, closed container. Then I have started heating. Definitely the liquid which is having low boiling point will change into vapor earlier as compared to the second one. I have to maintain the temperature in such a way that the temperature does not increase more than 100 degree. It should be less than 100, so that water is not going to convert into vapor, only the acetone is going to convert into vapor. So I have to maintain the temperature in between 60 degree, 70 degree, that is more than 56 degree. Now the closed container is connected with a delivery tube to another container. While the delivery tube goes on or passes, a condenser is used to make the delivery tube cool. Through the condenser, cold water falls on it. So when the vapor is passing through the delivery tube, it comes in contact with the cold water, and as a result the vapor convert into liquid, and that liquid is connected in another container. If you open your book, in the book the figure of simple distillation is given and you should go through the figure, that is the diagram, practice the diagram. So what you have learned, the simple distillation means it is a process of evaporation followed by condensation. Second thing you have learned, it is based on the principle that every pure substances have different boiling point. All pure substances have separate boiling point. And third you have to learn here, simple distillation process can be used in case where the two substances present in the mixture have boiling point differentiated by more than 25 degrees Celsius. That means water and acetone I have taken. So boiling point of acetone is 56 degree, boiling point of water is 100 degree. The difference between the boiling point of acetone and water is more than 25 degree. So whatever mixture you are going to take, the difference in the boiling point of those substances should be more than 25 degree, then only you can use this method. If the boiling point difference in between the two miscible liquid is less than 25 degree, in that case you are going to use fractional distillation method. So this method is also similar to simple distillation. Here also we are going to use the method of evaporation followed by condensation. Here also the principle is all pure substances have different boiling points, same principle. Only difference is there. In case of simple distillation, two miscible liquids should have boiling point difference between them more than 25 degrees Celsius. But in case of fractional distillation, if the two miscible liquids have their difference in boiling point less than 25 degrees Celsius, then also I can use this method. What happens in case of simple distillation? If the difference is not 25 degrees Celsius, it is not possible for you to maintain the temperature very carefully. So sometimes it may be possible that both are changing into vapor state and both will be collected after condensation. So again you are going to get with the mixture. To avoid that, this fractional distillation method is used. In this method, a fractionating column or fractionating tower is used. What is the function of that fractionating column? It prevents the vapor to pass through the delivery tube properly. So extra time is needed for passing the vapor through this fractionating column. So when the difference between the boiling point of two substances is less than 25, definitely the first one, which is having lower boiling point, will change into vapor earlier. It will pass through the fractionating column earlier and then the second one will pass. So during the passage it creates time gap. So during that time gap, the first one will be condensed earlier as compared to the second one. So this can be used for separating two liquids which are miscible but they have boiling point difference less than 25 degree. This method is also used for separating more than two miscible liquids. One example is, you have learned in class 8 that crude oil, that is crude petroleum, is separated into its various fraction using fractional distillation method, where fractionating tower is used, where each component which are having different boiling point are collected in different compartment. Okay. Another example where you can use this fractional distillation is from the air. If you want to separate different constituent. Now what is the method? First you have to convert air into liquid state. How to convert air into liquid state? Any liquid, when has to be converted into liquid state, you have to apply two methods. One is to increase the pressure. Gaseous state is converted into liquid state, that means pressure has to be increased, and temperature has to be decreased. So in the beginning the pressure works more as compared to temperature. So to convert air into liquid air, first I have to apply a great pressure so that air can be condensed into liquid state. Only pressure will not work. So after applying pressure we have to lower the temperature, because the boiling point of the constituent of air is generally very low. Some of the constituents boils at minus certain degree. So it is very difficult to liquefy. But then also if you apply proper condition, air can be liquefied. Then that liquid air can be gone through fractional distillation method to get back each component separately because each component have separate boiling point. So I hope today I am able to explain some special category of separating the constituent of a mixture, how to separate. Another thing is left, that is your chromatography. Let me say about that also. Chromatography is a method where a mixture of different color dye is separated. Suppose nowadays ink pen generally people don't use. Previously people used to have ink pen. The dye present in the ink is not made up of a single color. It is made up of more than one color. Generally dye is a combination of more than one color. To separate the different constituent, another method is used, that is called chromatography. This method is based on the fact that different colors are absorbed by the water in different way. That means absorption power of water for the dye is different for different dyes. One example you can do at your home, if you have any ink paper, if you have any particular color ink, take a filter paper, draw a dot on the filter paper using the ink. Now take a glass of water, allow the filter paper to put under the water but not the whole portion. Where the dot is there, only that portion should be underwater, the above portion should not be underwater. Now filter paper has the property of absorbing water. So it will absorb water and you will find that the water is moving upward in the paper. Along with the water, the colored dye will also move up. When you will take out the filter paper after some time, you will find that instead of one spot, 2 or 3 spots can be seen of different color. So actually the ink was made up of more than one colored dye. The colored dye which is absorbed by water faster, its spot will be at higher level. Then the dye which is absorbed by water is a little bit less faster, its spot will be at another point. So it depends upon the principle that different colors are absorbed by the water in different rate. That is, water cannot absorb all the colors at the same rate. If the absorption rate is more, it will be collected at higher level. So this is also another special method of separating the components of a mixture. All other method you can go through the book, you can find out that whether any difficulty is there or not. I don't think that any difficulty will be there. If you have any difficulty, you can ask me. So today I hope this second chapter is completed. I have covered almost all the topics. So thank you very much.